Ian Sachs now alongside Jim Leyritz. And Jim, you played with the Yankees in the 90s, some very exciting times. Just tell me about some of your favorite memories from that time period.
Well, obviously the 96 World Series stands out of all things. I mean, just the way we came back and won that series, not being expected to win. And then what that 96 team did for the franchise for the future. We always say the same thing. If we don't win in 96 and they lose in 96 and 97, that series and that era doesn't start.
Yep.
And so fortunately we did, and I think that was one of my fondest memories. But surprisingly to most people, my favorite memory of all time is the 95 walk-off home run against Seattle in the stadium, because it was something I could actually enjoy when I was rounding the bases.
Now, that was absolutely my next question. Just take me inside that home run and what that meant for you.
Well, yeah, I caught all 15 innings. I was standing in the dugout and getting ready to go to the on-deck circle, and Buck Showalter said, "Hey, this is it. This is your last at-bat." Mike Stanley, I caught all 15 innings. He said, "Mike Stanley's coming in and make it count." And I went up there, hit the home run, and walked off. And as I came in the dugout and saw him, I said, "Well, I think I made it count." And that's why it was such a special memory.
Now, do you see any comparisons between those Yankees and these current Yankees, the Baby Bombers?
Yes, of course. When people always ask me on the radio, who would I compare this team to? I said right around our 93, 94 team. We started having the Bernie Williamses, the Andy Pettitts, those guys starting to come up. We had to see what they were like, if they could play or not, if they could last. And then we started filling in with the Paul O'Neills, the Wade Boggs, and those guys. And I think really that's what made us strong. And I think with the new Yankees, you see that. You see these young core kids coming up. And then we have the money coming off the books for the next couple of years. My dream thing, we get Machado next year, and we get Mike Trout the following year, and then we go. I think we can beat anybody.
Well, that would certainly be a Yankees fan dream. But specifically looking at Sanchez, what do you see from him, the spark plug, especially hitting the last few homers the last couple games?
Well, I'm always partial to catchers. I love catchers, and he struggles a little bit defensively, just like I did. But when you can hit, they're gonna ignore some of that defensive stuff. And he's only gonna get better. It's one of those things that a lot of people don't understand. As a young catcher, and catching all these different players and trying to be a good hitter, because you are a good hitter, it's sometimes difficult transition. It takes a couple years for him to get to really understand that. Yes, the hitting's a bonus, but the catching is really the most important part of it. And I think he'll learn that over the years. But he's an exciting guy to watch. Some people have started to say, "Oh well, he fell off a little bit in the beginning." Well, he's really shown it lately that he's made the adjustments now too.
And now going more broadly outside of the Yankees and looking at the whole steroid era of Major League Baseball, and now that some of those prominent guys are up for election to the Hall of Fame, what's your stand on that? Should they be in the Hall of Fame? Should there be an asterisk next to their name?
Well, I never believed in the steroid era, because I know they were doing stuff in the 50s and 60s and 70s too. It just wasn't as smart or as easy accessible as it is, as it got to be. But to me, now that that guys like Pudge Rodriguez and some of these questionable guys get in the Hall of Fame, and of course Bud Selig, who was the commissioner during that time, I think that does open the door for all these guys. There's just two players, well, three, including my personal favorite, Pete Rose, but two players that belong in the Hall of Fame no matter what happened, because it wasn't against the rules at the time they did it, was Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds. I hope they get in soon.
Awesome, great stuff. Mr. Jim Leyritz, everyone.